Hello! Welcome to Joy Post number 1, the very first one. And because it's the very first one, I thought we should probably do a little introduction. My name is Denise Dykstra, and I write for Life with Four Boys Coffee, Please. And during the pandemic, I did this thing where I said, hey, everybody, what's your joy today? Because every day there is something to be joyful for. And it was so great, and I loved it. And when we had the stay-at-home shelter-in-place lifted, I probably start crying. I clearly heard God say, it's done. You're done with this now. And I did not want to end my joy post. So why am I doing a joy post again? So last week I was going through some emails, and an author had sent me an email saying, hey, here are my favorites for the summer. I've never really done this before, but since I'm home a lot more, I just thought I would add a couple of my favorites. And I'm like, I did that before. That was super fun. And it was like, I just knew it was time to do it with Joy Post. So I am excited to do this, but straight up I'm like, dear God, please let me be hearing from you, because I don't want to mess this up. I just want to see what God wants to do with it. And it's not like I'm trying to over-insert God into everything, but because I just want to do what's right. I just feel like I need to come straight up and tell y'all that. So here's my thought. When I did the Joy Post on Facebook, it was my Facebook community, and we would just write what we were thankful for that day, what brought us joy, and usually we had a picture, and we had a blast. We had so much fun. So I'm hoping that doing this on the blog post, I would like to do it once a week and just kind of toss it out there, and I hope in that we can reach more people. The community that grew from this during the pandemic was amazing, and I loved it. And so I thought, well, I'll write a blog post, which I did, but I listened to a lot of podcasts. I love podcasts. And with my blog posts in the past, I have always read them out loud, because my husband's like, a bird just hit the window. Oh my gosh. It flew away, so we're okay. That was so random. Okay. Anyway, my husband, he always wanted me to read the blog post to him. So I would write a blog post, and you can search YouTube and find these, and I would read them out loud. Like, I'd write them, then read them. I don't like listening to podcasts that are read to me, which is funny because I like to listen to a book, but for some reason I just don't like listening to a podcast that's read to me. So I thought this would kind of be a more random conversation. So I'll probably be looking at my screen. It's right here, just to kind of remind myself what I'm trying to say, because I tend to randomly keep talking. And so I just thought that we could do this once a week, and hopefully then everyone can join in the community through YouTube. You can leave a comment here. I will post this blog post there, and also through Facebook. Why not? Also, for whatever reason, my blog no longer seems to load any more photos. So if you're watching this on YouTube, you'll get to see the photos, because of this, I do know how to add photos too. So just to kind of give you like an inside view of our life, I'm going to be brutally honest for a couple of minutes. So I don't want people to think that I just have this idyllic life, which, don't get me wrong, I love my life, but I'm afraid that sometimes people just look at the bright side of something and they don't see what's kind of behind the scenes. And in that, I feel like I don't want to give too much away. I don't want to share things that aren't mine to share. I don't want to be a drama queen. But sometimes it's good to know the backstory of something. So I have had the word joy for 3 years. Every year I look for, I just pray about having a word for the year. And for the last 3 years, God has given me the word joy. This year he actually added to it and said, this year you're going to bloom with joy. Which I told him I was only supposed to have one word. Now I got 3. on my third year. So I talk to God a lot about these things, but anyway, that's what I have. And so I'm always looking for joy. I am finding joy in the everyday. I mean, this is what I do. And it's not because everything is so easy. So just this week, just in the last 2 weeks, this is what's happened. This is what I'm dealing with. I will cry at the drop of a hat, so I don't normally cry. Our oldest son, Andrew, is getting married. I'm so excited for him and Gretchen. It's just that it's also like weird. Like, I'm so excited. I'm really sad. I'm so excited. That's the roller coaster ride I'm currently on. Our second son, Isaac, graduated from high school this year, and he is headed off to the Navy. So, yay! Also crying. My husband is a steel truck driver, so he hauls steel. And during the pandemic, he was able to work the whole time. We have an amazing company he works for. And this week he called me and he's like, yeah, thanks to the pandemic, our work is just pretty much slow right up. I don't know what we're going to do. So yeah, I got a little bit of stress there. Also in the last week, we found out that my husband's brother, who has been struggling with cancer for numerous years, 2 for sure, I think we're going into the 2nd or 3rd year, it's not looking good. So we have some stuff that we're dealing with over here, straight up. And I'm not going to share things that aren't public knowledge to share, but I'm just letting you know, like, I'm getting up in the morning and saying, God, fill me up, give me your joy. And every day he does. And also, I don't normally cry, but this is the journey that I'm on. And so anyway, I just thought that this joy thing that God has placed on my heart has helped me so much, and maybe you'll get something out of it too. So every week, I'm thinking probably on a Monday, but listen, this is just, we're just gonna find out how this works. I'll post some things that just brought me joy during the week. And now I have a fly. So here are my things. Let's just get right to it. This week, I am home all by myself. So every year my brother plans this fish camp, and all the boys and my dad and my uncle and my nephews, they all go up north and they go fishing for a solid week. So they live for this week. I mean, it's like so exciting for them. I am so weary of hearing about fish baits. But with the pandemic, they didn't know if they were going to be able to go. So they left on Monday. This house was insanity as they tried to get ready. They bring so many boats. It's awesome. What happens at fish camp stays at fish camp. I am not allowed as a mother to know anything that has happened. I feel like that's probably a good idea. When they come home, I hug them and tell them to take a shower. It's just what it is. So all my boys are there. I have the whole house to myself. Oh my gosh. So I've mopped the floor, and then I spin in the middle of the floor like, oh, no dirt. I'm so loving it. It's so much fun. I laid in the middle of the bed last night because my husband is gone too. He's hauling steel this week, and so I'm laying in the middle of the bed, and it starts to rain, and Liberty, who's currently asleep at my feet, she's afraid of the rain, so she got in the closet, so I had the whole bed to myself. It was awesome. I was reading, the rain was coming. Oh, let me just tell you. Also, during the pandemic, we have all been together every single day, every moment of every day. So I have the whole house. It's like a total mess, but still. And so today, once I finish this, I'm going upstairs to clean bathrooms, because I would like to finish out the rest of the week standing in the bathroom and not have to think to myself, am I standing in urine right now? Like, I just don't want to think about it. So I'm going to be cleaning. I know you're so jealous, but it has been great. I did not realize I was so tired of, like, I miss them. I cry when they leave. I do every year. They come home and I'm like, oh, I'm so happy. Okay, now it's really loud again. And I love being home with my boys. I'm a stay-at-home mom. I love it. But oh my gosh, I'm loving this week. So, everything this week is going to be slightly different than any other joy post that you're ever going to have from me. It's still fun. So, yesterday, my mom and I, we went up to Trader Joe's. It's the first time we've been to Trader Joe's in forever, and we had to have face masks on. My mom's like, it's so good to be in Trader Joe's. So, I got that everything but the bagel, I think that's the seasoning. All during quarantine, people were talking about this amazing seasoning. So I picked some up. Tell me what's good. I think you're supposed to be able to put it on anything. So anyway, I picked that up. I'm excited about that. All this week, all I've done is eat toast or chips and salsa. I refuse to cook. Also, made your coffee. Anyway, so that happened. I had a friend come over. I've had two fancy coffees that I have not had to make myself. So I have laughed so much. Last night, my mom and I got Trader Joe's. My mom and I got food at Trader Joe's, went back to her house, made it, and watched Little Women again. Okay, I'll show you what Little Women, because I brought a stack of stuff here. This, Little Women. So I am like the biggest fan of Little Women, and okay, maybe not the biggest fan, but I really like Little Women. I wasn't real sure about this movie. I wanted to see it in the theaters, but I was like, can you really top the one with Winona Ryder? You can. They each stand alone. It's like a totally different movie in this movie, and yet the exact same story, because it's the exact same story. Cried through the whole thing again. I've watched it before. My mom hadn't seen it yet. And why do I watch it? And cry? Because it's just so good. So good. So, also, like, I'm just talking about different things that have made me joyful this last week. I just read Jen Hatmaker's book, Fierce, Free, and Full of Fire. I do not have it here. I don't even know why I looked around. I know I don't have it here because I got it at the library, because the libraries are open again. And I did not think I would like Jen Hatmaker's book. I read it cautiously, like, if I don't like this, I'm not reading it. Her last book I wasn't a huge fan of. I dare say this is interrupted with, as I was saying, I just got a phone call from Fish Camp, no less. So it totally fits in with this whole video thing. So anyway, I was talking about Little Women. Great movie. Read Fierce, Free, and Full of Fire. Great book. Other than Interrupted, it's probably her best book yet. I would say ever, but I bet she's gonna have some more good stuff in her. So that was really good. And then this is what I was reading last night. Stand All the Way Up by Sophie Hudson. I'm a huge fan of Sophie Hudson and Melanie Shankle. Melanie just had On the Bright Side. I thought I grabbed it. Apparently I did not. Read that in the very beginning of the pandemic, which is perfectly timed. And then this came out, and I had pre-ordered it, so I was totally surprised when it showed up at my door. It's so good. So good. And I hope you enjoy reading that one. And the funny thing is that, okay, my husband works weird hours. So the first night he was home when the boys were all gone, and he was ready to go to bed at 8. Bless. So I was reading this, Rhythms of Renewal. I've just been slowly working through this book. So it's all about exercise. Then I listened to Sophie and Melanie talking all about body image and exercise. Last night I end on Sophie's book about a chapter on exercise. I'm like, yo, stop already. Like, I get you here. I hear you loud and clear. So that's probably coming up in a new joy post. Anyway, the whole thing about finding joy is that you can find joy everywhere. It's there. When you open your eyes, when you ask God to show you joy, he's going to. He's going to. He gives us that. My verse for the year is Romans 15:13. I'll link it. But because if I start to quote it to you, I will quote it wrong and you'll think I don't know it, but I really do. Anyway, this morning I woke up and I was feeling down, and I went to do something else, and I had to work on the computer, and I was just like, today's the day for the joy post. It just is. And I was thinking about it, and I walked away because I just didn't know if I should. And I picked up my Bible, and I have this Encourage Bible. I got it just before the pandemic, and I'm reading slowly through Acts. I would love to tell you I'm in my Bible every single day. That would be a lie. And but I do try to get there every day if I can. And I hadn't in the last 2 days, and just briefly. So today I was sitting down, I was just going through Acts, and there was a devotional in there, and I was like, oh, this is a good one. This was good. So I'm underlining and hearting, and it has different devotionals according to color. So anyway, the other thing that I have to do, like anytime I do any kind of Bible study, I have to read the Psalms. I can't leave my Psalms. I love the Psalms. So I went there, and because it's still basically a new Bible, you can tell if I haven't read a page because the pages are still kind of they've got that gilded thing. So I'm carefully tearing them apart. And there's another devotional in the same theme of the devotional I read in Acts. Like, I just flip somewhere in Psalms and I just read a little bit. So I just love how God shows up. And in both devotionals, they were both reminding me God is going to do what he's going to do, and we can trust him. And I needed that reminder. So I just love when God shows up like that. So every week I hope to have a joy post for you. This one was a total long introduction. I would love to tell you that all these videos will be 10 minutes or less. But I did devotions on video all through the pandemic, and they seem to be about 20. But we'll try to wrap it up. I'm going to end this now. I'm going to try and link the two videos together because Isaac called me in the middle, and he's like, I'm on the lake fishing, not catching anything. What are you doing? And I'm like, well, I was doing something, but I'm happy to talk to you. Totally am. Got nothing to tell you about, though. So anyway, so I'm going to try to piece the videos together, and I'll add a few pictures. I'll add the picture of them all of the group as they left for the fish camp. So anyway, thanks for doing this journey with me, and this is how we're going to end it. And we'll end it every time this time. I told you some of my joys for the week. I want you to tell me what your joys are for the week, because we can find joy in the everyday all the time. And I want to know what brought you joy. So drop me a line, you can email me, you can message me, you can Facebook comment on this, you can YouTube comment on this. Just tell me what brought you joy. Like, let's see what everybody's joy is for the week. And I think that's going to wrap it up. So until next week, see you later.